Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is D-Man coming back at it again with another YouTube video, and today, the Tennessee Titans training camp, day 5. Do we want to call it day 5 or week 1? Or, excuse me, week 2, day 1. I don't know. I guess we'll go day 5. And yeah, I don't know what I put in the title, but I hope it's day 5. But let's go ahead and get into it. Now, we heard big news across the NFL, and especially AFC South, and especially for the Titans. Carson Wentz. Big news on him. I was going to do a video on it, but I decided not to. Just going to mention it a little bit in this video. Kind of cover everything, from what I think about it. But Carson Wentz out 5 to 12 weeks. That's a pretty large window. But, you hate to see stuff happen like that. Because I just wanted a full, healthy Indianapolis Colts team, so Colts fans wouldn't have to make excuses for when we beat them. So, but anyway, in other words, you just hate to see that happen, especially to a guy that's kind of getting a fresh start with a coach that he definitely loves and admires. And I was really excited to see how that team was going to end up. And right when that news was announced, the odds on for the Tennessee Titans chances to win the AFC South actually went from, I think, plus 15 to minus 110. And that's kind of crazy to me, because when we traded for Julio, our odds went up, but I don't think they went up that much. And you talk about Carson Wentz, he's healthy, then he is apparently out for 5 to 12 weeks, which means either week 1 or week 9, which is a massive window. But who knows? He might be out until week 9, and I think week 9 we play the Colts, and he might miss both the games against the Titans. Now, I highly doubt that, but that's a possibility from the timetable that we were given. Now, we do play the Colts. Week 3, I believe we go Cardinals, Seahawks, Colts, and if he's out for that game, we should get the job done. And I think that game is at home too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that game is at home too. But yeah, I mean, with that injury now, our chances of sweeping the AFC South are they've definitely increased, because that's Carson Wentz. That's a big loss. That's really a big loss. Even though I thought we were going to be good even with Carson Wentz, but now that he's out, I'm very confident for the Titans, but you just hate to see that for the Indianapolis Colts. But with injury to Carson Wentz, we also had an injury to a very, very big name for the Titans. We'll get into that here in a second. Something you don't want to see, especially for us. Let's go ahead and get to the big news this morning. Caleb Farley has been activated off of the PUP list. So this is great news. Again, I did not think it was going to be this soon where we would see Caleb Farley on the field. When you take a chance at a guy that you don't know, when you take a chance on a guy in the first round that you don't know when he will be back until maybe like a couple weeks into the season, and you take a risk and a chance, and he's back August 2nd, that just gets me so excited, because not only getting Caleb Farley back, obviously ready for the regular season, but if he's back August 2nd, he's going to be able to, mold with this Titans defense and kind of get the, team chemistry up. You got to have some chemistry out there, and him getting out here week 2 of training camp, if you'd have told me that right when we drafted him or a little bit after, I would have told you you're crazy, because there's a lot of time for this dude to, go through rehab and stuff. But Titans are banking on this dude to become similar to Jeffrey Simmons, or Jeffrey Simmons, he was coming off a torn ACL, and we see how Big Jeff is playing now. The sky's the limit for Big Jeff. But this is phenomenal news. Caleb Farley is back on the field. We'll see some clips of him on the field. And then you also see Tyson Brello and Jeremy McNichols have been activated off of the PUP list as well. Now, Jeremy McNichols, that's awesome, because that's going to bring in some competition for Darrington Evans. And we'll see a clip of McNichols a little bit later. All 3 players have passed physicals and now are eligible to return to practice, and we'll see all of them here. I don't see Tyson Brello, but Caleb Farley right here, and we'll get into McNichols in a little bit. But going through some stretching drills here. Caleb Farley wearing the number 3. We didn't know if he's going to wear 23 or 3. Clearly, he's going to wear 3. And I think he made that known on his story on Instagram. I think he posted a picture of a number 3 jersey. When we initially thought he was going to go with 23, he's going with 3. Looks really good. Let's keep on going. Yikes. We get into the bad news here. Julio went inside early near the end of Titans practice today after an awkward landing. Something you absolutely hate to see. Absolutely hate to see. But I'm taking this with a grain of salt because I feel like the Tennessee Titans, the trainers and all of those guys that are, their job is to keep everyone, healthy, and especially Julio Jones. So I'm thinking that those trainers are being very, very, very cautious of Julio, and any little thing that happens to Julio, they're going to make sure he's okay. And I'm kind of thinking that's the deal here, but knock on wood, because there is definitely a chance it could be definitely a little worse than what I'm thinking. But I don't think it's too bad. Again, knock on wood, but I'm really, really hoping for the best because Julio is definitely a big piece that we need for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Here's Big Jeff. We mentioned him earlier. Man, cannot wait to see how he plays this year because he's going to have help on the outside now. So I feel like he's going to get definitely maybe get some one-on-one opportunities. I expect teams to double team him. And if he'll do his job and get double teamed. We got guys on the outside getting one-on-one opportunities, and I'm super excited for that. But he's just sitting here talking about the grind he's put in and the technique and all that stuff that goes into being a defensive lineman. Phenomenal. Again, if you guys want to see that, link will be down below to Jim Wyatt's Twitter. You can go ahead and take a peek at that. Vrabel today, we're working on Caleb Farley. We're working Caleb Farley back in. Great to get him at practice. Now, that definitely awesome. Caleb Farley, your first-round pick. And we'll get into his personality here in a minute. But we continue on. Titans will practice in pads for the first time on Tuesday. I think it was initially supposed to be today. And actually, we didn't go pads today. I don't know if that had anything to do with Caleb Farley coming back. They might not have wanted him to go out there in pads. They might have, I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was the reasoning behind that, but might have had a little bit of, little bit of change from going pads to no pads today. But even if we go, we'll go pads tomorrow, and I doubt that Caleb Farley will see. Caleb Farley will literally go through only individual drills, probably stretches and individual drills. That's it. I highly doubt that he will see any contact in the next few weeks. So, obviously that's for obvious reasons, because obviously he's still, kind of getting back in the groove of things. So, don't expect Caleb Farley to get out there and start hitting people right off the bat. So, that's just something to look out for there. And then Vrabel, when asked if Julio's okay, he said, sure. Didn't seem concerned. I'm taking that with a grain of salt because we all know Mike Vrabel is not a guy that he's going to keep it very subtle and not going to say almost nothing. He says, sure. And we know Mike Vrabel is a guy that doesn't like to say anything about any. If something happens, he's always just like, yeah, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, taking that with a grain of salt, even though he says sure, even though it didn't concern him. Every time Mike Vrabel gets questioned about anything concerning, he doesn't seem concerned. That's just it. That's just him. That's how he goes. And you can look at that and say, oh, thank goodness Julio's good, but I'm not, because that's just who Vrabel is. I know I've seen too many, videos of Mike Vrabel just shutting people down when asked any concerning questions. So, not going to say, and then it ended up being pretty concerning. So, I'm not going to say anything, but I guess that's good that he doesn't seem concerned, but he doesn't seem concerned about a lot of stuff. But I'm sure he's concerned. He just doesn't, obviously, mention it. So, here he is today talking about Caleb Farley and him being a pretty good rapper. I think he said that he had 2 raps, and that he, I don't know if he said one or sang one today, but he said that he had one written out today and actually either said it or sang it, and everyone liked it, and included Mike Vrabel. So that's exactly what you want out of a rookie guy, just to come in and, especially with him being hurt, he's got to engage somehow. So great personality. It's awesome to see that he's kind of already has that chemistry with the team, even though he hadn't seen the field until today. So great stuff there, and you just love to see that out of a rookie. Like I said, especially with him not being able to see the field until today, and he's already gotten that, good personality, good bond with everyone. So that's something you love to see there. Let's keep on scrolling up. Here's some more of Caleb Farley. I think this is the same as the first clip we saw, and then a little bit more on the end. But you'll see, stretches here, and then you'll see him get into a little bit of individual work right here. Like I said, I doubt he'll see contact for the next few weeks, next couple weeks, I should say. But again, here he is. I think that was Amani Hooker alongside of him. And then he'll get into another drill here, and I think that is Amani Hooker again. Yes, that's Amani Hooker. But yeah. So yeah, there's Caleb Farley today. Great to see him back on the field, putting in the work. Derrick Henry, King Henry, back on the field today, putting in the work. Definitely want to make sure he stays healthy, because that's our guy right there. That's our franchise guy, Derrick Henry. Can't let anything happen to him. But there's Darrington Evans right behind him. We'll get into McNichols. I guess we'll go ahead and get into McNichols right now. So Jeremy McNichols here, working on a couple of drills here, and a guy that I like to see back on the field because it brings competition to our young guy Darrington Evans, who I think will eventually snag that running back 2 spot on the team. But I don't mind McNichols taking that spot, taking that role early in the year, because he shows that he had a couple splash plays last year, and he had a couple of, 3rd and, 6, 3rd and 7. He'll be on the field. Great pass protector. So, in my opinion, McNichols definitely plays his role phenomenally because he doesn't have to do much, but when he is asked to do something, he does it. So, love McNichols. Love to see him back on the field. And let's keep on going here. We'll see Brady Breeze, our 6th round draft pick out here. I really like Brady Breeze. I think he's one of the guys that's definitely getting an opportunity, and he's trying his best to make the cut. So great to see him out there. Good old fashioned tip drill there. Here's Kevin Byard making a fantastic play, snagging that one. And yeah, Kevin Byard. Speaking of him, bounce back player of the year for the Titans. I think he'll have around 5 picks this year, maybe even more. 5+ picks is my number for Kevin Byard, because we're going to have a pass rush. We didn't have a pass rush last year, and that's why his numbers went down dramatically. He had 1 pick last year, and his previous 3 years he had he had something like 7 picks, then he had 4 or 5. So Kevin Byard's definitely been a consistent safety until last year. But those 3 seasons before last year, he had a pass rush. So I fully expect Kevin Byard to have a bounce back year, and very excited to see him back on the field in September, October, November. Can't wait for football season. Now here is Julio. I would imagine this is before that awkward landing, but you see that clip there, a little gimpy, a little skippy, if you will. But here's Chester Rogers there. There is Cody Hollister, Cam Batson right here. Might stumble on a couple of these names. Mason Kinsey there. That's NWI. Des Fitzpatrick. And again, not sure who 88 is. That's Racy McMath. 82. Not sure who 82 is. But there's Josh Reynolds and Julio. And then watch at the end of this how he's kind of skippy. I don't know if that's just him having fun or if that's kind of something in his foot, if he's kind of like at the end here, look, he's kind of it's like a gallop, if you will, there. But I don't know if this was, I would assume this was before the injury. He's not, this has got to be before, but you'll see on a couple, right when he ends the drill, he kind of skips. He's a little gimpy, he's a little skippy, kind of like a galloping look. But we'll see here at the end of the video, and then at the beginning, we'll watch it one more time. And we'll call it a day, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. So, here's Julio. Makes a play. Kind of just skips around. I don't know if that's him being fun or if that's something bothering him in his foot. But again, Titans trainers and stuff were taking everything very cautiously, I would imagine. You saw him there again. But yeah, I kind of covered everything I wanted. Not much of a, kind of just a slower day. Not many, didn't have much notes written down. So kind of just went over some clips with you guys. But yeah, I kind of covered everything I wanted to. Like I said, didn't have any notes, so it didn't really go longer than I wanted it to. But we'll be back at it tomorrow for day 6. What should we call it? Should we call it week 2, day 1, or week 2, day 2 tomorrow, or should we call it day 6? So let me know on that. But again, wide receivers, another big question. Who's going to take that, punt return, kick return spot? It comes down to that guy right there, Chester Rogers. That was Cody Hollister, not him. Cam Batson's the other guy, and then Mason Kinsey. There's he. And so Mason Kinsey, Cam Batson, and Chester Rogers are the guys that you want to keep an eye on, because they're still competing for that spot, and they're making it really tough, because normally by now you would have seen maybe one or both 2 cut, but they're making it tough on these coaches to make a decision. I'm sure every coach likes all 3 of those guys, and it's going to be a tough decision. It's going to be a tough decision. So just something to keep an eye on the next few days. If anything happens, I'll definitely be on top of it. But we also heard about Sam Ficken yesterday. This is one of my notes that I had written down. But Sam Ficken today, he looked good. From Mike Vrabel said that he didn't have the chance to watch him, but he heard he did very good. So again, very, very happy that we made that kicking addition to the team. But yeah, with that being said, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. So yeah, with that being said, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Until next time, I'll see y'all.